Hello everyone, this is Bentley, and this is Shantoto. Come on, get your face, there you go. This is one of my girl dogs. Thought I'd just pick her up, have a little fun with her. But, more importantly, I got a little collab video today with sAquatics, Blake's a really cool dude, down in the Melbourne area of Australia, and we both have a similar passion. Rainbowfish. Talked to me for, like a month now we've been talking, and yeah, he had this really great idea for a collab, and normally I'm not a fan of top 10 lists, but when you get an opportunity to have someone from Australia who could literally go out to a river, catch rainbow fish, and take them home, you kind of want to hear what the guy has to say about top 10 rainbow fish. So with that being said, let's kick it over to Blake.
Hi all, and thanks for clicking on this video. Over the past month or so, I've been talking with Bentley, and we've been coming up with a way that we can bring you guys interesting videos and also do a collaboration at the same time. So I'm really excited today to talk to you about my top 10 favorite rainbow fish of all time. If you're not aware of me or my channel, my name's Blake. I live in the Melbourne region of Australia, so down the bottom. I keep a few fish tanks, as you can probably see behind me. I make daily videos on things like care guides, product reviews, fish store tours, fish room tours, and anything else that comes under the umbrella of fish keeping and this fantastic hobby. And I've been watching and a big fan of Bentley's channel for a long time, so I'm really excited to be working closer with him, and hopefully you guys will enjoy this video today. So let's jump straight into it. So I'm going to keep it pure today. We're not going to include things like threadfins, pseudomogills or rads, although I am a big fan of all of those species. So we're going to keep it fairly light. I'm going to run you through my top 10 favorites and why, and we're going to steer clear of a lot of the technical mumbo jumbo and all those things that you can just pull straight off Google, Wikipedia, whatever you like. So to get started with number 10, we have the Glossolepis Wannamensis, commonly known as the Wannamensis rainbow fish, or the emerald rainbow fish. They made number 10 on my list because they're very unique. They have a very rare color to come across in fish, that is that emerald green look. They have longer fins, which I find a desirable trait, and I've only ever come across them once, and it was at the annual convention for ANCFA, which has some sentimentality for me and my experience with this hobby. So for those reasons, number 10 on my list was the Wannamensis, or emerald rainbow fish. Number 9 on my list is the Melanotaenia Nigrans, or the black-banded rainbow fish. And they're on the list because they were the first rainbow fish that I ever bred. It was kind of by accident. I had a 2-foot tank. All the Melanotanias were actually spread out so that there was no crossbreeding. But I would just pull the mops out of all the individual tanks, put them into a 2-foot tank, and just raise up all of the babies in that tank. And most likely for a myriad of reasons, but none more important than my experience level at the time, the black-banded rainbow fish babies were the only ones that survived. So I was really happy to raise up my first rainbow fish babies, and for that reason, the black-banded rainbow fish are number 9 on my list. Outside of my own experience, they have a really nice blue sheen to them. I believe they're an underrated rainbow fish. And in my experience, they'll exhibit a good level of hardiness, activity, compatibility within the home aquarium. So there's not much else you'd really want in a rainbow fish. So black-banded rainbow fish, number 9 on my list. Number 8 on my list is the Pygmy rainbow fish, or the Melanotaenia Pygmaea. I think they were recently stripped of their title as the smallest rainbow fish there is, but nevertheless, I really love these and I enjoy keeping my one. I do have one Pygmy rainbow fish, and that's because he came in as a hitchhiker. Basically, I ordered a bag of Gertrude, Pseudomogil Gertrude, and he came in the bag. So I picked up one Pygmy rainbow fish. I probably wouldn't have ordered them otherwise, and I didn't really have much interest in them. But since I've had him, I think he's a fantastic fish. And he's also a great option for smaller profile tanks as well, like a 3-foot tank, 40 breeder, something like that. So really enjoy the powder blue coloration and the smaller size of a rainbow fish with the Melanotaenia Pygmaea. Number 7 on my list is the Murray River rainbow fish, also known as the Australian rainbow fish. I always mispronounce this name, but Melanotaenia Fluviatilis. And the Murray River rainbow fish made this spot on the list for a number of reasons. First of all, geographically, they're the closest rainbow fish to where I live. I was actually born about 60 miles or 100 kilometers away from the Murray River, so they certainly get bonus points for that. Also, they can survive cooler temperatures, so they do present as a year-round outdoor pond option, though that will obviously depend on your location and the temperatures that you see. Really nice coloration in time. You'll get some really fabulous blues, greens and yellows coming through. Very accessible, at least where I am. They're super common down here, so you can easily get your hands on them, and they're not going to cost you an arm and a leg. So for those reasons, the Australian rainbowfish or the Murray River rainbow made number 7 on my list. Next one on the list, at number 6, we have another Australian. We have the Melanotaenia Trifasciata, specifically the Goyder River. So the Goyder River rainbow fish. These are really beautiful fish, and they're from northern parts of Australia. They're this high on the list for me because my local fish store actually had a beautiful planted display tank full of these guys. I'd never heard of them before I saw them in that tank, and yeah, I was just taken by the coloration when I saw fully grown Goyder rivers in person. So certainly recommend picking some up if you've never seen them, and they'll really pay dividends in time as you condition them properly and see some really great growth out of them. So at number 5, we have another of the smaller rainbow fish. You'll probably notice by now that I do favour the smaller varieties of rainbow fish. But we've got the eastern rainbow fish, Melanotaenia splendida. Specifically, I keep a male from Mount Poverty. These fish have, you know, as I said, a bit of a smaller body size, so they are a bit more compatible for the home aquarium. They show brilliant coloration, and the Mount Poverty variant that I have shows some fantastic deep red tones through the fins. Another one which held some level of sentimentality for me, I picked them up in the auction at the convention. I think they might have even been the first rainbow fish that I bought at an auction. So yeah, there's a pretty good memory there, and they've paid me back in spades. So I really enjoy sitting down and looking at my Splendida rainbow fish, the eastern rainbow fish. Number 5 on the list. Number 4 on the list is a little bit of a bigger rainbow fish than the others that we've had so far, but a stunning one nonetheless, and one that I could not overlook for number 4 on the list. We have the Melanotaenia lacustris, or the Lake Katubu rainbow fish. You might also know them as the turquoise rainbow fish. Both the females and males look really great, and even juveniles look great. They'll have sort of a pale blue sheen to them. So you're just winning on all accounts with the turquoise rainbow fish. Once again, they'll show brilliant coloration, and as the name suggests, a great pop of turquoise through the tank. I've spent many hours sitting down and enjoying my turquoise rainbow fish. I would always recommend picking up some of your own if you're in the market for, you know, a rainbow fish for your 4 to 6 foot tank, something like that. So at number 3 on the list, we have an absolute staple and one of the first rainbow fish that people tend to keep. We have the Melanotaenia praecox, or the dwarf neon rainbow fish. Really easy to sex out, which is a great positive. The males are going to have red fins, the females are going to have yellow fins. But another one that I've really enjoyed keeping for a number of years now, and one which has the benefit as well of maybe being able to be squeezed into a 3 foot tank, so long as you've got the front to back width. I think that's okay. As with all the rainbow fish on the list, they're going to be plant safe, fairly hardy and very active within the tank. And Praecox rainbows in particular make great alternatives if you're going to go, you want to find some tetras or something to whip through your planted tank, then I actually think maybe consider Praecox rainbows instead, and I think you'll have a lot more enjoyment with them. But for me, they've made number 3 on the list, the Praecox rainbow fish. Number 2 on the list for me is the Melanotaenia Parkinsoni, the orange variety in particular. I really enjoy this fish. They've got sort of a bit more of a rough orange back half of their body, and then more of a silvery blue front half of their body, more jagged and pointed fins. I kind of liken them to a Boesemani rainbow fish with a leather jacket, you know. If your Boesemani rainbow fish had a cousin that was a bit off the rails, maybe rode a motorbike, something like that, then that's what I imagine Parkinsoni rainbow fish to be. Kind of like the bad boy cousin of the Boesemani. Maybe that's just me, maybe I'm crazy. It's very possible. Another benefit perhaps to the Parkinsoni is that they're going to get a fair bit smaller than the Boesemani, and at the very least a lot narrower, but they're still going to provide you a brilliant coloration through the aquarium with those flashes of orange and the movement from their slightly more elongated fins. Melanotaenia Parkinsoni are going to bring a lot of enjoyment and heaps of activity and colour to any tank, planted or otherwise, and I would have to recommend them at number 2 on my favourite rainbow fish list, Melanotaenia Parkinsoni. And number 1 on my list, you probably guessed it by now, yes, I am that basic. We do have a super common fish, but super popular fish, but one that is common and popular for a reason. Of course, number 1 on the list is going to be Melanotaenia Boesemani, the big, bold, two-tone fish that everybody loves, and that's absolutely iconic in the rainbow fish world. Anybody who's kept rainbow fish before has probably stumbled across a Boesemani rainbow fish in their time, so of course we had to have the Boesemani rainbow fish as number 1 on the list. With a back half ranging from yellow to deep orange, and a front half ranging from pale blue to a dark navy blue, there's going to be a great amount of colour and variety no matter what location you pick them from, with the difference in coloration being a locality difference. By picking up a Boesemani rainbow fish, you're guaranteed a ton of colour, a ton of activity, and just a really stunning fish that you can't really go wrong with in the home aquarium. So for those reasons, I just couldn't look past them as number 1 on my favourite rainbow fish list. Full disclosure, there may also be some recency bias to them being number 1 on the list, given that I've actually hatched out some 2 days ago, which I'm raising up. But nevertheless, they would have been certainly a huge contender for number 1 on any rainbow fish list, I believe. So there you go. Those are my top 10 favourite rainbow fish and some of the reasons why. Really hope that you enjoyed this video. The context around it is mainly just to inspire, maybe think about some rainbow fish that you haven't seen or considered before, not to sort of get into the care requirements and all of those things. So hopefully it fit that purpose. Hopefully you enjoyed. A huge thanks to Bentley for allowing me to do this, and of course he has done his top 10 over on my channel, so go and check that out if you want to see what Bentley has got in his top 10 rainbow fish. You guys know Bentley is someone with an extreme wealth of knowledge in this field, so I'm really excited to see what's going to come out in that video, and I'm sure there's going to be a few curveballs thrown in the mix. Outside of our interest in rainbow fish, Bentley and I are also massive into planted tanks and things like that, so I do think there's a fair bit of crossover with our interests. So maybe in the future, if this video performs well, there'll be additional collaborations if that's what you're after. So let us know down below if you want to see more crossovers like this, and we'll certainly consider it. Other than that, if you made it this far into the video, I thank you a lot for your time and appreciate you hanging around and listening to my reasons why certain rainbow fish are my favourites. Hope you enjoyed. If you did, and it helped Bentley out, to hit like, hit subscribe, and all that fun stuff. And who knows, I might catch you in a future video. Thanks for watching. See you later.